Morning guys, welcome to another video. Out here getting a little bit of exercise in before we start the day. Gonna head back, and we've got something cool we're doing today, a little bit different, but I think it's going to be good fun and I think you guys will find it interesting. I will see you back at the house. Getting back home from my exercise to find that Mrs. Sambles is making hot coffee is always for winners. Got the coffee coming through the Chemex. Right now we're drinking this. This is the Chimney Fire coffee. It's not a sponsored video, same as before. I don't have sponsored videos, so don't worry about that. Now, there is actually relevance in the coffee this morning because that is part of the photo job that I'm doing. But first of all, let's get this coffee, let's get in the office, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. Right, and there you go, we are in the office. Slightly different setup today because we're doing this vlog style. This isn't the proper setup with the light and stuff and just using the natural light for the window, which actually works just as well as like spotlights in certain situations. Sometimes it's too overpowering, like you can see it's kind of blowing out some of the background and stuff. But hey, like I said, this is vlog style, so it doesn't matter quite so much for what we're trying to do. So what am I talking about with that coffee thing? Well, a few days ago, I posted some pictures on my Instagram page of the Chimney Fire coffee that we had bought from a local business. We've been trying to support local businesses where we can at the moment, so we bought some from a local coffee company. I posted some of those pictures on Instagram, and actually the company messaged me and said, hey, like, we love those, can we use some of them? And we kind of got a talk in, and we've kind of almost like, you know, built a little bit of a sort of a mini partnership. And I'm going to help them out with some doing some photos. You know, look, it's good to support local businesses, right? It's something cool to be doing. It's something which is good, keeps my photographic brain active during this period of time. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, I've got the coffee that that they sent over to me. It's ground coffee because we use ground coffee, not beans. But it's occurred to me that I think actually to get some real great photos, I might need to get some whole coffee beans. So before we do any of it, I think we need to shoot out to the shop and grab some coffee beans, so that we can start to create a little bit of a background and a display and stuff. My plan is to do some flat lay stuff, which is like a photo from above. My plan is to do some kind of stuff set up with a few props around it, like cups and saucers, and of course including the actual product itself. I'm going to do some including the product and some like generic coffee photos. So probably aiming all in for something like 6 different photos for them maybe. And I'm going to do that. We're going to set it up in the kitchen, like a mini sort of studio thing in the kitchen going on. But first things first, we need to go buy some coffee beans. So I will see you guys at Sainsbury's. Right, just got to Sainsbury's. It's actually fairly quiet. I mean, I've been here a few times. I've had to queue like 45 minutes to get in the shop. So I'm hoping I can just get in fairly quick, get some coffee beans, and I'll be back. Let's go. Oh, right. Genius. Right, managed to get some. Sainsbury's own whole bean coffee. Nothing fancy. I'll be honest, I consider myself to probably be a little bit of a coffee snob, I guess. I like fresh coffee. But I'm not going to be drinking this because we use ground coffee at home, hence why I didn't have beans. So I think this will do the job. Right, let's get home and see what we can do. Let's go. Okay, so here we are set up in the kitchen. Now we're gonna photograph on top of my oven right here, and I've got everything together that I think we will need. We basically have some black sort of paper, which I've already started to set up by using masking tape up against the back to give me a background. I've also got a massive piece of white paper, which we probably will use when I switch the background to doing something white. I've got some accessories. So I've got a big cup and saucer. I've got like a random ramekin, which I'm going to use to put upside down in the saucer, so it's easier for me to fill it with beans without having to use like 2 bags. I've got another plain white cup. It's got some stuff in it, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to use that from the top. So as long as it's got the white rim, we're cool. I've got my coffee beans, which we got obviously, and I've got some actual Chimney Fire coffee. So we've got the branding and the packaging and everything. I've got my EOS R, which we're going to photograph everything on right here. I'm using my 24-70. I probably will try to shoot more at sort of 70mm if I can, so I'll stand a bit further back. I find that kind of crushes the background a little bit more. And we're filming this on the 1DX because obviously I want to use the EOS R for this. Right, accidentally turning my oven on right there. That'd be a bad idea, set fire to everything. Right, let's set something up and let's see how it looks. Let's go. So I think to start with, I'm going to do something without any actual coffee, so just with the coffee beans. And what I want to use is this yellow cup and saucer. What I'm going to do is fill it with coffee beans. Now I'm going to put the ramekin upside down in there, so that I don't need to use too many beans to get it filled up. Let's move the rest of this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to do this on the black background because I think against the white background, the paleness of the cup might be a bit lost. So I'm going to do it against the black background to get some contrast. And literally, I'm just going to fill in around here with coffee beans. Now, the ramekin is quite deliberately higher than the level of the cup because I want to fully kind of create like a mounding effect like that, so it's overflowing the cup. And I want to get some spill like around it as well. So I'm going to try and make it look as natural as you can by literally chucking them on and letting them fall off. Let's get a few extras around the front here. Right. No promises on how this is going to look. We'll soon see. You guys will know sooner than I will, because you guys are going to know in just a few minutes at the end of the video, whereas of course I've got to look till I've edited them later on. That's the first setup we're going to do. I'm going to try it down to flash and see how it comes out, and then we will go from there. So right, let's take this photo. Going to try a few different ones. So settings wise, just so you guys know, I'm shooting at f4, so I get a little bit more depth. So I've got like the beans and the cup, but then I'm also going to try something at 2.8, focusing on the front of the cup, so hopefully I'll get some of these beans in the foreground slightly out of focus. Slower shutter speed, probably be about 1/60th, and then the ISO is probably going to have to be like 2,500 to get the exposure right. But look, let's take some photos and let's see how it comes out. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was imagining actually. I'm pleased with that. I am actually going to try and do this at 2.8, see if I can get some of those beans out of focus like I talked about. Shoot one a little bit wider. And something a bit closer in as well. Just do it again. Perfect, that's come out pretty well. Now, those of you guys who saw my video the other day about camera settings for sports, obviously I said how I shoot a lot of that in JPEG. All of this I'm shooting in RAW because it gives me more chance to work with the images afterwards in Lightroom. So I'm shooting all of this in RAW. Right, I like that. Let's try something slightly different. I actually just decided before I clear this one away, I'm going to try and do something with the branding in it as well. So I'm basically going to slide this over to the side. And I'm going to put the bag in the back here to see if I can create something with the branding in it like that. Because I think that could get some of these in here a bit more. Yeah, I think that could work quite well. So, right, let's try that and see how it looks. Yeah, that came out pretty well. I'm pleased with that. Right, let's set something up totally different and let's see how it goes. Cool, okay, so my next photo I'm going to do one from above, like a flat lay photo. So what I have set up down here is like a little bit of a scene where I've got the coffee bag. Now I've propped that up on a ramekin underneath just so that it's level, because I find if it's away from the background it creates it a bit more prominent and makes the focus on that. Got a cup of coffee which I just poured fresh right now. This is in that white cup because again the rim will look better when I'm photographing straight from the top. And I'm going to put some extra coffee beans just kind of around to kind of really help with that little bit of detail, and especially up here. I quite like that, the way they're off the edge of the bag. I think that works. Spread those a little bit more. Okay. Obviously on my focus, I'm going to be focusing on the bag because that's the main thing that we want in the photo. But that will be to the left of the frame, and I'm going to be in fairly tight, because obviously otherwise I'll be off my background. That's fine, so I'm going to be fairly tight anyway. Okay, so obviously again using the EOS R. To start with, I'm going to shoot f4. I'll see how we go though. It might be that I decide to go a little bit more shallow depth of field. We'll see how we go. Now the important thing with this is to really get so that you're over what you're trying to photograph. And again, I'm making sure I'm photographing on the front of that bag, focusing so on the front of that bag. So see how that exposure looks. Nearly got it. I just want to be slightly more over that cup so that it doesn't look like I'm off at a weird angle. Nailed it, I like that one. Right, I'm pretty happy with all of that. I haven't had to use a flash at all, which is fine. I've done some stuff with the black background up here. I didn't do any white background up here, and I didn't do any black background on the flat lay, but that's because I think it worked. It worked better with the white, and this worked better with the black, mainly because I was using the yellow cup up here. So I think the hardest thing about this is going to be cleaning all these coffee beans back into the bag, but we'll see how that goes, and then we will catch up in the office so we can round off. And that's pretty much us all done, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something a little bit different for today for us to do and show you a little bit of product photography, right? Good fun, hey? Anyone who can do a bit of photography generally can do some kind of product photography. Fine, we're never going to be as good as like a product photography expert, but that's not what we're trying to do, right? We're just trying to get some photos together to look cool, and I'd like to think that I've achieved that today. I'm going to show the photos at the end of the video, so don't do it just yet. You've got to stick around so you can see how they came out. If you're interested in finding out something about the Chimney Fire Coffee, go check it out. I'll link it in the description. And like I said, it's not as a sponsored video. I've got no affiliation to them other than that I bought some of their coffee and they liked my pictures. That's about as far as that has gone so far. Guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow.